Hello, everyone. This is Jim Ogrozinski with your weekly lecture video. Spent the last few days assessing, grading, and looking over the annotated bibliography submissions, and I feel a quick review and explanation of my observations would be appropriate in this lecture video before we move on to new content. All I can say is, after reviewing many of them, I have to once again go back to the instructions here. That was significant in my comments. If everybody took the time to read the instructions, looked at the minimum requirements here, the 6 to 8 sources, the word counts. I give estimates for the introduction and then the citations and annotations. Um, List out the categories, even provide the instructional video here. I'm uncertain as to how some of the submissions, I should say, were expected to be successful. Several submissions were only 4 or 5 sources, which does not meet the minimum requirements. The annotations were certainly not the 3 parts that were highlighted here in what's in annotation. And here I made this even a larger text about the 3 parts, the 3 components in building an annotation. That there is no quoting and writing summary. You can't grab a huge block quote to be part of an annotation. An annotation is really straightforward and simple. I have an instructional video here about an annotation. I would urge everybody, depending upon your grade, to revise this quickly. It's a serious assignment, and you must pass it with a C or better in order to move ahead in the class. Excuse me, if you have any questions or issues about that, please send me an email. Look into the grading section. I have comments attached to almost all of the annotated bibliographies. You might have to scroll down the document submission there, take a look at an annotations toward the, or I should say comments toward the end. But nonetheless, they are there. It's an important part of me sharing, thinking about that particular submission. All right, then. So moving on to new business, we're moving into chapter 4. Well, actually, we're moving into chapter 4, but we're still going to hold over a chapter 3 activity in the double entry journal. I have all the highlighted sections here to read in chapter 4. This is where you're preparing to write your first draft. That's what chapter 4 is all about. A little video here, how to format a works cited page. From beginning at the beginning, writing for a reader interest and working with sources. We're all going to cover those topics over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So the one thing that I do want to get to is discussion board 11. Let me get to that real quick and talk about the double entry journal. Now you've got source material. You have some, actually a lot of the source information was really, really good that I saw pertinent to the topics and relevant. And so now we have to do something with it. This is that note-taking part where you have a double entry journal. So I say here you want to grab 2 of your sources and extract from them. You need 3 excerpts, either quotes, paraphrases, or a summary. And you add that to the left column of the document and your corresponding commentary in the right column. Okay, let's do a little writing and thinking in this particular activity. Double entry journal is, I've uploaded an example here. Let me see if I can get over to that relatively quickly. All right, here you see an example. Now this is a little bit older of an example, but it's a good one, where you have a citation here, so you should be able to copy and paste your citation from the annotated bibliography. Here is a quotation and the corresponding summary, or I should say commentary here. What does it all mean? Quotation, commentary, and another quotation and commentary, whether it's a paraphrase or a quote or a summary. Then you move on to the next source right here, citation, and likewise, paraphrase, commentary, and so forth and so on. So you need three out of two sources, so that's 6 entries. You have to make a commentary here about each particular entry. You can't give me like 3 quotes and then one long paragraph. That's not the purpose of the activity. Purpose of the activity is to look for some independent quotes and paraphrases and take that apart, dissect that quote, paraphrases, how it's relevant and what does it mean to your particular topic. So let me close this out here. I've also uploaded here. Let's see if I can get there too. Click links. Here is a template that has some already content in it. You may, let's see, when was this done? Let's look at history here. Okay, you can turn around and certainly use the template here and delete all of this information here, all right? And put your own in right there. That's why that template is there, all right? So that's the activity for the week. Start working with your sources. Start being able to build the quote sandwiches that you will need in working with your particular source material, all right? So that's this week's lecture video. As I said, let me get back to the modules. We're going to be looking at chapter 4. Next week, I'll talk about the first draft. It'll be coming up and due at the end of the month. That is the first draft of the research essay. If you have any questions or issues, send me an email.